Hello, it's City Farmer Johnny, and I understand you've got a dilemma.
Oh, yeah. Well, for one thing, it's Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
Yeah. But before we get into this, a little explanation of the property here. The house was built in 1900. Supposedly the guy next door was the original farmer here. He built this place for his daughter, and I'm the proud owner of one of the last remaining barns in this neighborhood. But the surprising thing to all you local natives, on my deed it says Town of Brighton. This house was built when this property was in Brighton, and it was annexed to the city. And I got a clue as to why it possibly was given up by Brighton. If you go back to 1900, think about it. 2 blocks from here is the Erie Canal. In 1900, this neighborhood was producing a lot of food that was getting on those barges to Chicago to feed the settlers out west. And well, let's just say the founding fathers of Brighton weren't particularly happy with the product that we were selling down the road, which I'll give you a clue is in the name. So here's my dilemma. Tomorrow's Saturday. I got a barbecue at a birthday party, and Sunday I've got to make a dish to pass. So I've got all these beautiful vegetables in my garden, so I thought I'd make a vegan lasagna. Now the ingredients are fresh from the garden. There's a local grocery store that has a salad bar for $7.99, which you can mix and match. Some of the ingredients here: olives. Now when you use olives, you want to dice them up, because if you put them in the recipe just like this, it's only the immediate area that necessarily gets the oils from the olive, and you know how us Romans like olives. Oh, roasted garlic. Now, I have no idea what roasted garlic does to the anatomy of a woman, but guys, rumor is it'll put lead in your pencil. Mushrooms. A secret ingredient to lasagna, surprisingly enough, is hard-boiled eggs. You know why you want to put hard-boiled eggs in there? The yolk will absorb the excessive moisture dripping from the sauce. So, let's get started. Oh, fresh basil, parsley, and cilantro. Bread stick. I buttered the pan. Get the lasagna out. A layer of lasagna to start. Now, trick to sauces. There's nothing wrong with store-bought sauces. They work really well. But a little secret is you buy tomato paste to add to the sauce for the thickness. It all ends up in the same place. Slap it around. You get the flour. Now if I were doing beef in this recipe, the pan would be a lot higher, and each layer would be a different type of meat. So now that this is down, I have 2 types of cheese. Provolone. Nice around the borders. Quick pass. And I have Swiss. Boy, you're getting to see a Roman make lasagna. Oh, this is... Now there's my base in cheeses. Now, as I said, the yolks will absorb the extra moisture from the sauces. And I have squash. I'm not going to cook this until Sunday morning, and then I'll let it take it to the birthday party and let it mature on the ride out to Lyndonville. Now the herbs and the spices, mushrooms, oh yeah, sprinkle those guys all over the place. Olives, oh, ooh. And your roasted garlic, oh, an aphrodisiac, so, oh. Hot time at that party tonight, huh? Ooh. Okay, now let me go with some more sauce. A little dab will do ya. And another roll. Wow. So having the egg in there actually makes it good for breakfast, you know. It's the meal that keeps on giving. Ah, get her in the pot, get her in the pot. Oops, sorry about that, camera boys. Whoops. My photographer cousin friend is smiling now. It's the aroma, you know. A lot of Swiss. Quite a few provolone, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to really throw this stuff around. More spices, herbs, ah yes. And my little variety pack here. Garlics I'm throwing in, the olives in there full. They'll just have to do. Okay. Couple more hard-boiled eggs. Absorb that stuff, that sauce. Now, finishing touches. And I'll get some more of this in here. Zucchini. Okay. Now, we're just about done. It's all prep. You know, my mom would tell me in the kitchen, she'd say, Jack. She called me Jack because there was already a John in the house. She would say, yep, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And let me tell you, it works twice for women. Yeah, when I was dating, I used to take a woman out and sit and listen to her at dinner on what she really liked to eat and what her favorite recipe was. And I'd have her over, and much to her surprise, it would be bacon in the oven. And, there it is. Now I'm going to let this sit overnight and cure, and then Sunday morning before I leave, I'll cook it 45 minutes at about 325. This is Vegan Lasagna.
Well, thank you, City Farmer Johnny.